welcome to Hugo Girl. I'm Amy.
I'm Lori.
I'm Haley.
The birthday girl.
Woo!
I'm Kevin.
Yay!
It's Kevin! We have a new recorder, a digital recorder, and it's amazing.
We're so fancy.
So this is a very special birthday episode. I am 38 today, and to celebrate, we're going to be reading live a short story I wrote when I was in 8th grade.
Yes!
We've been talking about this for a while. I'm excited. I started to read it on your blog, and then I was like, nope, I want to experience the live reading.
The live
No
performance.
spoilers.
A couple years ago, we were cleaning out my parents' house, and I found a 4-page short story that I'd written in 1996.
How old were you in 1996,
I
Haley?
was 13 years old.
Yay!
And this is deep in my love of the Star Wars Expanded Universe.
She's not in that anymore. She doesn't like Star Wars.
Never. Having reread this several times since, it is funny that my teacher did not notice the blatant Star Wars ripoff, but she was 60-something, so why would she know?
What was a Star War anyway to her?
Back then it was only like, the movies from the 70s, so we had to write just a creative writing piece, and I went to town using mainly Star Wars characters. But looking back at it, too, there's aspects of high fantasy which I would not have predicted.
Well, imagine your teacher, too, being like, sorry, can't write a Star Wars story. It's not original enough to, 8th graders.
Yeah, true.
Maybe she was really into it. Maybe she was a Star Wars fan. Because if she was 60 in 1996, then she would have been, our age.
Miss Montgomery, all right, so this was second period. I got a 98 on it. She wrote, "You write well!" !
Oh, you found, the hard copy.
Yeah, this is the hard copy. It was on notebook paper.
That's going on the
Look at
Instagram.
Look at the diagonal typeface I did. It's so good.
What is GEM? What is that?
The
That's
Nerantel
the name of the
Gem.
title. Yes, okay.
That's a word. No.
Amy, pay attention.
Sorry.
This is early graphic design. This is the book cover.
I can't wait. Oh, I love it. We got to get it printed and bound.
Oh, we should.
This reminds me of the time in 6th grade when I had to write an autobiography of myself, and I wrote about, instead of writing an autobiography of myself, I wrote about how I was conceived in September, and my brother didn't know for 9 months that he was going to have a sister, and then I was born, and I ruined his life.
They surprised him. They were like, "Mom's not pregnant."
No, he wasn't surprised. It was a blatant lie.
So it was like Sally family fan fiction.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was kind of like this.
Oh my goodness.
It had a cover like that.
Yeah.
That's why.
I did not realize that there's a subtitle to this. The Nerantel Gem, in cursive, a fairy tale.
Isn't it true that you knew all along it was high fantasy?
No, I would never know such thing. I was not there on October the 12th or whatever.
Well, 13-year-old Haley knew, but you blocked it out.
Apparently I did.
Oh, man.
Are there hobbits?
There's no hobbits.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Have you checked?
We could get that original in as impeachment evidence.
I got the receipts.
I wish I remembered all my evidence objections. I don't.
Yeah, well, you don't have any because that's admissible
Yeah.
for impeachment purposes.
All right, so there's an introduction, which I guess sets the stage, and then we'll get into the actual story.
So what we're going to do is, Haley's going to read this to us. This is like a live reaction, right?
This is like My Dad Wrote a Porno, a great podcast that we love.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to that, go listen to it.
Ooh, it's bad. No, I mean,
it's great.
It was great for a 13-year-old.
Yes, yeah, let's...
So.
No one's trying to win any awards.
That's true. Although I will say that I'm now a professional copywriter, so
See?
just saying.
You got a 98 and a job. You won awards.
You're a success.
It's a
You're a
major
success
award.
story.
It's true. Keep writing, kids.
All right, birthday girl, what you got?
All right, we're going to start with the introduction to set the scene, as it
Start
were.
with the whole title.
Well, so that was just like a clever title I did.
Oh, okay.
The title is The Nerantel Gem, a fairy tale. I wrote a fairy tale in cursive.
Well, you need a different font for the subtitle.
You wrote it with your hands.
You need a different... You were into typesetting.
Fairy tale. I've never liked fairy tales. Okay.
How was your kerning on the
it was bad.
italics?
You're like Martin Solenis. You wrote something you hated, but you knew it was commercially successful. So
The Hyperion cantos of...
It sold 5 billion copies, guys. Sorry.
Listen to
I'm
Dying
famous.
Earth.
All right, introduction. I can't.
Yes, you can.
The first time I read this after finding it after 20 years, I sobbed from laughter. In the land of Nerantel, there are 3 continents. Sarita, with wide grassy plains.
Sarita. That is Carida.
No, Sarita is also the name of the Imperial training planet from the Star Wars universe.
I would have thought it was Karita.
Karita. Well, it's a soft C, guys.
We need a little.
Okay,
we need
Sarita.
It needs a Seyduya, whatever.
You're the author. You tell us. It's
the
Sarita.
author is dead. No. All right, Sarita with wide grassy plains and gently sloping hills that jut directly.
I bet she did have wide grassy plains and gently sloping hills.
That jut directly into the watery underworld of Oceania. After Oceania, there is rangeland, a continent filled with rocky cliffs and steep mountains. On one of these mountains is a special gem, the Nerantel Gem, that holds power and darkness.
Unobtainium.
I would like to say that I thought it was the Nerantel Gem, and a few minutes ago before we started recording, Haley was like, it's Nerantel.
Obviously. We'll also post the link to the short story with my annotations.
Oh, of course. And a picture of your original design cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
How often does the author also do the cover art?
I'm a triple threat, guys. All right. To continue with the introduction, here is the background of characters. Two special twins, Corin and Karina, were born.
Not Serena.
No, Karina were born of the king and queen of the open stars, whatever that means.
I love
World building. We got world building.
Yeah.
I love that you said they were born of. That's like very horse girl.
It's very horse.
They were born of the king and queen.
And in order to take the throne, they must prove themselves worthy. I'm setting up plot.
This is good. There should be some kind of test. You know what I mean?
True. They decide to get the Nerantel Gem.
Let's go get it, y'all.
Just go get it. Just go get it. Why?
That's what Jason said before he went and...
The antagonist of the story is Count Palpatine.
Who's he?
An evil lord who wants the gem for his own needs. He hates the twins.
He hates them. He hates them so much.
All right.
We have to dial down the interruption a little, or it's going to disrupt the flow.
Yeah. All right. I like that I get into but literary glossary. The antagonist is blank. Also, he hates the twins. All right, now we get into
You're definitely doing some tell, don't show.
True. I was but a baby. All right, now let's get into the story.
Yeah.
Y'all just wait for these adverbs. They're coming. Whew.
I see horses on the horizon.
I'm excited about these horses.
I'm so happy.
Horse hooves muffled silently against the damp grass as Prince Corn and Princess Karina gallop towards the continent of Oceania. How much longer until we get there? Asked Karina, her voice vibrating from riding so hard. This was back when I thought that being a good writer just meant lots of weird details around plot points and dialogue.
Well,
I blame
also,
Timothy's on.
In middle school English class, they're like, more modifiers.
More modifiers. Okay. In response, 2 hours, give or take a few minutes, her brother replied, taking a swig from a canteen, then passing it over to her so she could drink.
I don't know why everyone is laughing so hard. Just setting the stage.
2 hours, give or take.
That's like a GPS. It'll be like about 2 hours, and then it updates while you're driving, and it's like, actually, it's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
But for all the details, I was like, let's be more precise. All right. They rode past several towns before Corin pulled the horse's reins tightly. I am talking about horses so much.
I see you.
We were all horse girls deep inside.
I know.
Can I do a sound effect for the whinny that's upcoming?
Yes.
All right.
They rode past several towns before Corin pulled the horse's reins tightly, making it whinny. And jumped down finally.
Finally.
They stretched down to get the blood moving back in them. Then the twins put on wetsuits, goggles, and a two-way microphone so they could hear clearer.
You guys are laughing so hard, and I feel like this is not that much different than a lot of published books we've read. What, Kevin? You look crazed.
Well, just the transition from horses to
It's so
wetsuits.
fast.
It's a triathlon.
It's a short story. I had to pack in everything into like...
It's a triathlon.
Wait. Oh, I guess I was stuck on the horses. I didn't even realize they're about to swim. And this is just like how I read a novel. I miss at least 1/3 of what's happening. Okay, so we're going to swim.
Okay, so keeping going with the plot. This is not an aside, sadly. Oceania was much like our planet's oceans before it blew up.
In the big mistake.
Except Oceania has a double amount of oxygen, so you can actually breathe underwater.
I did not realize that oxygen content was the problem with inhaling underwater.
There's so much it's gone into the ocean.
And and made the water breathable. That's why they only need wetsuits, goggles, and a two-way radio, and not like a air tank.
Yeah, they don't have. They didn't take it. Notably, they did not take any.
This
way to
makes
breathe.
perfect sense.
Oh my god.
How do they talk into the microphone?
All right, I actually want to read my initial commentary because it's really funny.
Do it.
There is so much silent exposition in this 4-sentence paragraph. Good thing they finally arrived at the first major setting of the story. Better stretch those muscles first. They then load up with James Bond levels of gear before we find out briefly in passing that Earth was destroyed. Thanks, narrator! Who are you? Is it 12-year-old me? Why was Earth blown up? No worries.
And how was Earth blown up if Star Wars is long, long ago?
Oh,
We don't know.
shit.
Next, we find out about a very simple, very easy scientific reason why our heroes could breathe underwater. Just more air. Easy as pie. Won't have to worry about those pesky rebreathers like in the Phantom Menace a few years either. No word on gills a la Waterworld either. Okay, so they've...
Or gillyweed.
Oh, gillyweed. Yeah. So, I'm going to say this was before Phantom Menace and Harry Potter.
I mean, they copied you.
Just saying, that's true. All right. They jumped in the Arctic water and immediately they started shivering until they submerged further underwater.
Famously, the ocean gets warmer as you go
true.
down.
A beautiful menagerie of sights, smells, and sounds invaded their senses.
They could smell things underwater.
Because there's all that oxygen.
Yeah, there was an overwhelming coral reef fortress that the king lived in. The most intriguing sight, however, was the native species that lived there, the Tessics, a species that basically looked human with a salmon head.
Basically, look human with a salmon head.
It was supposed to be like there's an actual race in Star Wars called Tessics that.
Oh, I see.
Or no, Quarren. No, Tessic is either the species or the person's name, but I forget.
Okay.
I mean, this is all ripped off. A Tessic was the king of this world that beauty practically poured out of.
Out of the Tessic or the world?
I don't know.
Why not both?
Just there's double oxygen and double beauty pouring out of everywhere.
Pouring out of us.
Underwater.
So to be clear, the continent of Oceania is an underwater continent.
Yeah, it's an underwater
Okay.
continent.
Oh, I didn't know. Thank you.
I think I meant, instead of continent, I meant like landscape. To continue, they decided to get something to eat. I don't blame them. So they looked around the kingdom and finally found a quaint little restaurant called the Eatery of Oceania.
That's like American Deli.
USA Deli. They ate in an airtight chamber so they would not drown.
I think that's a plot hole.
They had spiced fillets of rainbow trout for dinner and a couple of drinks at the bar. They finished, got up, paid, and went to a reef shelter and slept the most bizarre sleep they'd ever slept.
Oh, at the reef. That makes sense. I would sleep bizarrely in a reef shelter too.
Is that like an underwater hostel?
It was like one of those pill hotels in Tokyo.
Got it. Only underwater.
They woke only to find the aerial species and the Tessic's arch enemy, the Flits, attacking the majestic underwater city.
No.
They were dumping hot vats of bubbling magma all over the water.
No.
God.
Chaos broke out. Normally the twins would have stayed, but they were on a mission.
Sorry, guys.
They're like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. They're like, no, we're not here to free the slaves.
I will say that's a really good weapon for a 12-year-old. You know,
Magma?
hot magma underwater makes sense.
So
Doesn't immediately.
if I
stop
was
being hot.
13 when this came out, this had to have been before the Phantom Menace, but this is remarkably similar to the Phantom Menace.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Normally the twins would have stayed, but they were on a mission. They stole a local speedboat and sped off. 25 miles later, they ran out of gas.
25 miles.
And that's pod racing.
It is pod racing. All right, now we have some.
They stole a local speedboat. I feel like that's unbecoming the future royalty.
Well,
of-
and I don't know how a speedboat would work underwater, but
It was an emergency. It's okay. All right, our first dialogue is
First
coming up.
dialogue. Just great, declared Corin. Now how will we get to the other side? Even in the dialogue.
the other
it's
side
bad
of
acting.
the ocean.
We don't know.
Okay.
You know the MacGuffin.
I wonder if this story is going to pass the Bechdel test.
Probably. No, it will 100% not pass that. He looked over at his sister, who had her eyes closed in deep concentration, and slowly but surely, she began levitating her entire body into the air.
Wait, are they still in the ocean?
Unclear.
When did they get to the air?
Well, probably when they stole the speedboat.
Maybe it's the double air that's in the water.
Maybe they swam away from the city, stole a speedboat. Now they're in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. All is revealed in the next sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Her brother caught on quickly. They broke the surface after a matter of minutes. By now, they were up in the clouds. They just kept going, y'all.
So she levitated them out of the ocean.
I think together, with their powers combined, they left the under the water, became above the water, and then went up to the clouds.
Got it.
Okay.
Up in the clouds. Okay.
All of a sudden, they stopped levitating, spread out on their stomachs, and began flying towards rangeland at supersonic speed.
I love it.
Why couldn't they have just done that from the beginning?
I had the same question in The Matrix 2 when he fights all those Mr. Smiths and then just vanishes away. Why even fight them?
Because we need a story, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They landed at the base of the special mountain that held the sacred Nerantel Gem. It was said it was so steep that many people compared it to climbing up a skyscraper, except for the fact that skyscrapers were smooth.
Burn.
Take that, mountain. Before they were to begin the arduous climb upward, they stopped and took out small, flavorless, colorless cubes of concentrated food. When you ate one, it filled you up tremendously.
It's hardtack.
Yeah.
It's limpus bread.
So this was a period in my life when a friend in the lunchroom introduced me to the fact that she would just eat hot or / cold cans of corned beef hash.
Oh.
And then I grew to like it.
I mean, it's not bad.
I mean, it's not raw, 'cause it's cooked.
One would not want to only eat that.
No, but like, I became obsessed with the idea of like survival food. I still am obsessed.
No, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. This does not. This sounds like the Haley that I know and love.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
mean,
we have our first filled out segment.
Small,
Fantasy
flavorless, colorless cubes. Like that's straight from Left Hand of Darkness. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
Everything-
I mean, you're not the first sci-fi fantasy genius that came up with that.
everything
You know?
has its root, and yeah.
Or not the only. I didn't mean to say not
Yeah.
the first.
All right, so they ate the food cubes. They made
Filled up tremendously.
tremendously. They made good time considering the gigantic proportions of the mountain. It took them exactly 20 hours. 20 hours of nonstop
nonstop
climbing
climbing.
just to get a quarter of the way there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they were done.
Oh my God. So it's going to take 80 hours total,
It's
not
so
counting breaks.
20 hours of nonstop climbing to go the quarter
They have
of the
to prove
way.
themselves. Uh-oh, said Corin. We have reached the summit. That means...
Well, wait.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It happened off camera.
I only had it was a 5-page essay, guys.
We panned to the horizon. We panned back. There at the summit.
Uh-oh, we're at the summit. That means M dash. Karina cut him off sharply. The tips drop quickly and the snow falls. She smiled awkwardly.
Awkwardly.
That's just not good writing.
She smiled.
They stopped and
We're gonna
slept.
die.
They stopped and slept for several hours before continuing. So they're rested, guys. It was nighttime now, and it was going to be below zero soon. They took out some thermoelectric blankets and began to climb.
In their blankets?
Like a Snuggie?
They had like a pack, I'm assuming. Did I just write The Terror before I read The Terror?
You wrote all the books you would grow to love.
When did they get scurvy?
I've just been like living my life. I've been, my adult life has just spent realizing my childhood
You
dreams.
brought your life into being by writing the story.
I might have, y'all.
So was there an upper limit to their levitation abilities?
I guess they could,
and their supersonic flying abilities.
Float to the clouds, but not the
No,
top
they
of a
Well, they can only
mountain.
supersonic fly on their bellies.
yeah, no,
And
I
they
mean,
can't-
well,
they can't
they have to
supersonic
stop
fly
and
up a mountain.
sleep. I mean, it was as steep as a skyscraper, guys. Keep in
Listen,
mind,
there are reasons, Kevin. There are just reasons.
at this point in my life, I have never seen a skyscraper. I'm living in tiny Savannah, Georgia.
we don't have those in Savannah.
Our tallest building is City Hall.
That's right.
You know what, Kevin? That question was misogynist, and
We could maybe imagine the spires of the cathedral.
Look, we have. There's a lot of Deus Ex Machinas in the story, but that was not one of them.
One can't be bothered with exposition, Haley.
Near the top, Corin put a hand over the direct edge of the cleft.
Sounds like you're saying corn. You grow that now.
I know. Fingers stiff from the cold. One more heave and they would be at the top. He lifted his right leg over the top, pulled, and rolled over on his back. He closed his eyes and relaxed. They did it.
Well, he did it.
I like the idea that there's like a discreet tippy top to the mountain. Like I just threw my leg over it and took a roll, and that's
like
the top.
It's like climbing El Capitan.
That's a common trope in movies, though. They're always like, there's the top, and then it's flat for like,
They got to the top of those cliffs of insanity.
oh, and you know, it's not unlike that. He didn't even think to look over. The sight when he did look, though, took what little breath he had away.
That's good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the top of the mountain was a huge, ancient, monolithic pantheon. So many adjectives.
A huge, ancient,
Monolithic.
pantheon.
Between the many pillars at the very, very back was a bright, shiny
I thought
gem.
it was monolithic.
I don't know what that means. I was 13. I hadn't taken art history yet.
Monolithic, there's one rock, but lots of pillars.
Maybe they're all built out. They all made out of the one.
I
rock.
just knew that it was fancy.
We just found the gem, everybody. I got to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Spoilers. God.
Between the mini pillars at the very, very back was a bright, shiny gem. The twins could feel the power radiating out of it. He leaned over and gave his sister a hand. They brushed themselves off and started toward the gem. He helped her.
That's nice.
Their brother and
That's
sister.
a nice brother.
They were several meters for some reason.
From the kiosk.
From the kiosk.
Oh, we're Canadian meters.
There were several meters from the kiosk where the two sat when all of a sudden the evil Palpatine emerged from the shadows, laughed, and took the gem.
Is this Sheev Palpatine or just a distant relation?
I mean, in my head, it's just the Emperor.
Oh my God, when does it take place? It could be Rey.
It could be Rey.
How did he get up there? He's not spry enough to climb that mountain.
Corin shouted at his sister to get the red Nerantel Gem.
Wait, I've forgotten the sister's name. We've said
Karina.
Karina, thank you.
Corin and Karina.
All right, there's a 90s Whoopi Goldberg movie called Karina.
I remember that movie.
I think that's where it came from. Everything has its root.
And Ray Lolita.
Yeah.
Not Lolita.
Ray Liotta.
Yoda.
Wait. What did you say?
Ray Lolita.
By Humbert. No. She ran toward it, picked it up, and placed it securely in her backpack.
Wait.
So,
Purple Jansport.
I had a purple transport. Corin reacted instantly by lunging for the evil figure, and they both crashed down hard on the snow. They fought fiercely, throwing punches hard and even headbutting.
Even headbutting.
That's how you know it's a fight.
Hold my earrings.
Hold my baby. Yeah. Corin shouted at his sister to get the red Nerantel Gem. Why is that so funny?
It's funny because you called it the red Nerantel Gem. Like it's got a capital letter name. You don't need to be like, is there a green one?
You had to add more adjectives. More
You
weight.
do though. Teachers are like, good use of adjectives.
adjectives.
Check plus.
Why,
know what-
why was I picturing it bright like a diamond? I don't know.
Because that's the title that I made for the blog post.
That's why.
Do you know what I hated in English class? When they made you write a first draft and then edit it? No, what I wrote is fine.
I still feel that way.
Yeah, no, same. I'm not going to redo
My boss
this.
edited something I wrote today, and I was like, how very dare
So,
you.
I mean, like, it's fine if you don't look for typos, but, like, I'm not going to So I would, like, bullshit and be like, oh, I'm going to change this to red Nerantel Gem instead of Nerantel Gem, whatever. So that's
I
probably what
edited
came from.
it.
Yeah, da-da-da-da.
You two call yourselves Ravenclaws.
No, I mean, that's, like, truly the most Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
it is.
It's fine.
Okay. She ran towards it, picked it up, and placed it securely in her purple Jansport backpack. The two men were getting awfully close to the edge, and her mind raced to think of what she could do to help them.
Help them!
She got an idea. She ran over to one of the huge stone pillars and took out her vibroblade.
Vibroblade.
Also a word stolen directly from the Star Wars universe. It's just a
Whoa.
knife. It's just a knife.
Okay.
But does it vibro?
It made quick work of the heavy pillar. She yelled a warning to her brother in their native language, but it distracted him. And he ended up getting punched 10 feet back.
He's like, what the? What's their native language?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So I see that you are not as strong as I thought, gloated the evil count. Now he's a count.
You said he was Count Palpatine.
He was a count. Yeah, he was a
Yeah,
count.
this is before he's an emperor.
There's continuity here.
He's just count.
He wasn't even a senator yet. He was just a count. He was a viscount.
This is an origin story, is what we got here.
So I see that you are not as strong as I thought, gloated the evil count. The instant he said that, the huge pole came down on him, crushing every single bone in his body. Prince Corin, bloodied and beaten, staggered to Karina. What did you say? You made me get distracted. He exhaled in confusion. I am so confused. She blushed and choked down a laugh. All I said was 4. And the two began to laugh, and they started their descent to the heavens where they belonged.
Because she golfed the count?
What? FORE4?
Yeah, so, okay, let's back up. All right.
Okay.
I love many things about this. I love that it ends with a confusing, jokey golf reference, which is great because I've never played golf, not even in middle school. I love that, early feminist that I was, obviously, the sister saves the day with her quick thinking. I love that she chokes down a laugh. Many authors use epithets, but I clearly did not understand their purpose. Also, why did she blush? This was her brother. Not that Star Wars precludes this, but come on. Yeah.
Why, so why did she say 4?
Okay, wait. So
So-
she cuts down a pole.
She decides to like start sawing at a pillar, and she knows that it's going to fall where they're fighting, and she says in her native language, 4, so that he'll be like, oh shit, something's coming, I guess. And so he moves.
Oh, it's like heads up.
Heads up, yeah.
Okay.
And so then it falls on the Emperor /
Yeah,
Count.
because when you yell 4, there's a ball coming at you.
Yeah, 4, it's like heads up.
Or like she was cutting down a pillar, so she could have been like timber.
Yeah, timber would be a much better word.
Well,
If we
maybe
were
you
gonna
should have
edit it.
edited it. Yeah.
I didn't edit it.
The teacher said edit, and Haley was like, "It's perfect."
And Laura's like, but Timber's a great Kesha song.
So was this inspired by the movie Cliffhanger? at all?
Probably that was a big influence on me.
This is John Lithgow as Palpatine.
You know that's probably right.
Who
Yeah.
had you cast in your mind as the brother and the sister?
No, the brother and the sister are clearly just Jason and Jaina from the Star Wars Expanded Universe.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously Palpatine is the Emperor. There's nothing.
Palpatine is Palpatine.
There's nothing. There's nothing original in this story.
Are Jason and Jaina Han and Leia's kids?
Yep.
I thought they were Luke's kids.
Nope. Luke has
Oh.
Ben Skywalker, which they changed to Ben.
Oh,
in the movies,
that's
yeah.
okay. Okay.
Does Ben Skywalker go bad in the books?
No, I don't think I read that far. I don't think so.
anybody's Kylo Ren. I don't.
Well,
think
no.
there's that kind of
Jason
guy.
becomes pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
apparently, But I didn't I stopped in 1999, so they kept going.
Oh, so you know nothing then.
I know nothing. That's my story.
I think it's cute and fun. I like it. I only wrote stories about horses, and I'm pleased to see that you did as well.
Who knew?
There were always long spine tingly kisses in the stories that I wrote when I was 13. I was really interested in that concept.
Mine are very chaste. Although she does blush at her brother. So.
She does. There's no boob talk segment. Is there a misogynist moment?
I don't think so. I mean, it's,
I don't like how he's like, "What did you say? You distracted me. I'm so confused."
That's true.
I thought that was very rude, especially because she just saved him from getting Palpatined to death.
Also, I'm not sure that I love that we don't hear her name for half the story.
We definitely do.
well, but she's not the main
The
character.
two special twins, Corin and Karina.
But then after that,
You don't hear her
don't
until
hear-
she talks. Yeah.
there's
She's
one.
right
There's
there.
one. There's
And
one.
right there again.
There's one. There's
and
two.
she does the levitating.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think my misogynist moment is Amy not paying attention to our female character.
Let's see. She's not on that page. She's not on that page.
His name isn't either.
It is.
Once.
Right there.
Once.
There's fantastic food.
Oh,
There's
so much
fantastic
fantastic food. There
The
are
eatery in Oceania.
there are 2 meals when this it's like 1,000 words tops.
I think the whole thing is soap stuff.
The whole thing is soap stuff.
There's definitely terror talk because you have the hardtack.
I don't think I'll ever get over the betrayal of them just leaving that town to be destroyed by the Flits.
I think my largest looming question is why does the Emperor hate these 2 twins?
Why? Just why?
He just does.
Well, I told you I just listened to Ology's podcast about fandom, and she was saying that one of the things that makes something like very exciting to fans is negative space because you have room to speculate and
Oh,
discuss and
yes.
debate on like what's going on. So this is perfect for that.
That's true.
Why does he hate the twins? There could be like a whole message board about it.
Maybe
a whole Discord about why does he hate the twins.
Maybe it's a little snapey, like he was in love with their mom.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
Now he hates the offspring. I like that plan.
I like this MacGuffin of like they just gotta go get that gem and then they can get like it's very transactional.
It's got dark. It's dark, full of power.
It's red.
It's red.
Like, what do they do with it?
Nerantel gems are red. Like this is a Tu Wong Fu reference. It's Tu Wong Fu time.
Yes. Have we mentioned Tu Wong Fu yet?
No, I don't think so.
Is this a first?
It's up there with Terra with our influences for sure.
Not as much for me. I don't think I'd seen it until I was like in my 30s, probably.
It's formative.
I feel like you're holding something in over there, Kevin.
I was just waiting for a good excuse to use our applause.
I mean, I think literally any time is an appropriate time for our applause button.
All right.
Yay!
You're welcome.
Do we have to like?
you're the
be
only one that can
quiet
hear it.
while you're
No,
doing it,
no.
or oh?
Do we think this is eligible for a retroactive Hugo for best short story?
I'm gonna submit it next year.
Well, it hasn't been published, so you could publish it now, and it could be
self-pub,
eligible for next
yeah.
year.
Self-pub on blogger.com
Heck
or
yeah.
WordPress.
Get Tor.com to post it.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Oh,
This is pretty Lord of the Rings.
yeah. It's a fairy tale. The author told us it's a fairy tale. We have to respect that.
There's a journey. There's mountain climbing.
They don't go to space.
There's horses. Oh no!
Oh, you wrote Lord of the Rings?
Even though I cribbed and aped mercilessly from Star Wars novels, specifically the Kevin J. Anderson Jedi Academy trilogy.
The secret horse girl heart wants what it wants.
Apparently it does.
I just want to say, horse hooves muffled silently. Muffled? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Girl, that's a transitive verb.
I feel like the person in the line to ask a question at a panel at Dragon Con, and I just come up and I'm like, what did you mean? And you're like, so I just love the fans, and you just try to turn it into something nice because the question was impossible to answer.
I wrote this back in 1996, and I was going through a hard time. And
This is more of a comment than a question.
It says they made a sound, but then they were silent. What does that mean? I don't know. I was probably late for third period. I feel like the opening sentence is... So as a professional writer, a lot of my job is to edit other people's things that they give me to make sound better. And most people cannot write. And I feel like when they try to sound smart, they end up just using more words than it takes to communicate something. And that's exactly what I was doing as a little baby writer. I was like, how many adverbs can I use? How many weird twists of phrase can I use? So.
And no adult fantasy writer ever did that.
No, never.
Not once.
One thing that I remember very distinctly from Timothy Zahn novels, who was credited with creating the first Star Wars Expanded Universe book with Heir to the Empire, is he has this epithet that he uses, so-and-so swore under his breath. And I don't know what that means. Like, I guess you're like,
A quiet little curse.
Yeah.
but like every 20 pages, a character, Luke does it, 3PO does
Somebody
it.
swearing under the
The
breath.
no-gree bodyguards do it. And so once you start to read a lot of books really quickly in succession, you start to notice tics that authors have, and that was a big one. So I think I was trying to copy some of that.
That reminds me of, I read the World of Time books in quick succession one year, and Nynaeve in that book is constantly pulling on her braid. She's always yanking her braid, and
She's
it
nervous.
happens over and over and over and over and over again.
That happens in Mexican Gothic. The main character is constantly smoothing the folds of her taffeta skirts.
Yeah.
Yes, they're constantly smoothing their skirts too.
Smoothing the folds
Who
of the
no one I know smooths their skirts.
Well, why is it so wrinkled? Hang your skirt up at the end of the day.
I will say that I spend several times a day refolding the crease of my jorts. So maybe it's similar.
So
to
when
that.
I write a book about you, I'll be like,
She creased her jorts.
Haley recreased her jorts.
They are always uncreasing these
She
jorts.
freshened up the crease.
That's
of her
the
jorts.
that's this episode's name, creasing the jorts.
That's like crossing the streams.
creasing the jorts.
One time, me and Lori were ghostbustresses.
Ghost bitches.
Ain't no bitches gonna bust no ghosts. All right. Well, what else? Anything else?
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Happy birthday.
I hope you enjoy my silly 8th grade story.
I did very much.
I'm glad that I wish I could go back in time and tell Haley that podcasts exist. One day you'll have one.
I want now Haley to write a new one.
Maybe I will.
That'll be our next episode. Another very special episode of Hugo
I
Girl.
have fantasized about us writing fanfic because they did that on the Newcomers podcast.
It was
and
so good.
It was so good.
It was so sexy.
But also not sexy.
Not at all.
So maybe we could do one that's not sexy. But it is funny to see how people write. I always enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm definitely down. That'd be fun.
We should do a fanfic writing competition
Yeah, what would we do it of?
and let all 6 of our listeners, our
Each of you are
followers,
invited.
Yeah,
You
vote
may-
on it.
You may vote.
Oh, that would be fun, you guys. I'm in.
Maybe we will.
Don't forget that the next book is The City in the City by China Mieville.
I've already started it. I forgot how good it was.
I gotta buy it.
It's very good.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
That was weird.
Did you just erase the whole thing?
No, I just unmuted my microphone and it played the applause for a little bit.
It's so proud of you. You're a podcaster now.
No, I was just going to say rate, subscribe, and like.
Yay!
Like and rate and,
Good job,
rate and
Kevin.
review.
Leave a review.
Just leave a nice review.
That's
Leave a
the thing
review
that
so
leaves
Lori,
my-
It makes Lori's
my
month.
day. Yeah,
Makes her
and
day.
my month. Yeah, I can get by for a really long time on one review. I'm like a review camel. So if you leave me one review, I'll be happy for weeks.
She keeps it in her hump while she crosses the desk.
On that note,
Yeah, yep, I think that's the end.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Juan, for saying our giggling is charming. It actually meant a lot to all of us.